Troops of Nigerian Army neutralized 45 terrorists in Katsina State. Nigeria Police Force expands counter-terrorism capacity with approval of new unit bases. The Julius Aburi-led faction of Labour Party warned against attempt to dissolve party-elected executives. Another foreign scene, Israel and Iran trade attacks as Middle East war enters second week. Good evening, this is News at 7 on Western Spring Television. My name is Tomilola Daniel Adetuwo. No fewer than 45 terrorists have been killed by troops of the Nigerian Army in Katsina State. The terrorists met their Waterloo during a fierce gun battle with the troops in the Danmusa local government area of the northwestern state on Friday. Confirming this in a statement on Saturday, the Katsina State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Nasiru Muazu, said 3 soldiers lost their lives in the process. He said the bandit had earlier attacked Al-Hazawa village in Musawa local government on a Thursday, rustling cattle belonging to residents. Muazu, however, said community members, alongside some repentant bandits in the area, resisted the attack, killing 4 of their assailants and recovering the stolen cattle. The bandits were said to have regrouped and returned on March 6 with the intent to carry out a reprisal attack. The Department of State Services, DSS, has arrested a suspected commander of the Eastern Security Network, ESN, and a suspected member of the Indigenous People Biafra IPOB over alleged involvement in a series of attacks on police stations and killings in Isi-Uzo, the government area of Enugu State. According to a statement on Saturday, the suspects were apprehended on Friday at Eha-Hamufu and Hemuhu communities following months of sustained intelligence gathering by security operatives. The suspects were later identified as Sebastian Odoodam, alleged to be a notorious ESN commander, and AGK Daniel, a suspected IPOB member. According to reports, the suspect allegedly confessed to masterminding several attacks on police stations, during which weapons were carted away and security personnel killed. The pan-Yoruba social-political group Afenifere has condemned the escalating wave of terrorist attacks in southwestern Nigeria, urging both federal and state authorities to intensify efforts to rescue the region from banditry. In a press release on Saturday, National Publicity Secretary of Afenifere, Jare Ajayi, highlighted the Yoruba people's alarm over the near-daily erosion of human life across multiple states. He lamented the barbaric treatment of kidnapped victims, noting the merciless beatings and humiliations endured by abductors. Ajayi recounted multiple incidents across the region, including attacks on churches, police stations, homes, and highways in Ondo State, sacked communities in Kwara, killings of farmers, and assault on travelers along the Igbetikishu Road in Okeogun, Oyo State, and gruesome kidnappings in Ekiti State, where victims were killed and their corpses held for ransom. On the nature of ransom demands, Ajayi said the greatest demonstration of the heartlessness of the evildoers was their demands of 1.5 million naira, Indian hemp, cocaine, a synthetic drug known as ice, and cartons of canned beer for the release of a corpse in their captivity. Afenifere, however, called for decisive action to cut off their funding sources, which is said to include unscrupulous, wealthy individuals, local and international organizations, some state actors, communities paying protection money or harvest fees, ransom from captives, and outright theft. Still staying with security, the Nigeria Police Force has expanded its counter-terrorism capacity, the approval of new counter-terrorism unit bases, and the deployment of additional personnel to strategic locations across the country. The development was disclosed in a statement on Saturday signed by the Force Public Relations Officer, Benjamin Hudain. According to the statement, the initiative forms part of ongoing efforts by the Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, to strengthen the force's capability in tackling terrorism, banditry, and other serious crimes threatening national security. The statement added that the training program was implemented in collaboration with the British High Commission in Nigeria through the Office of the Counter-Terrorism Regional Coordinator for West Africa. The police said a 2-week close-quarter battle and intelligence analysis training program was organized for 56 officers drawn from counter-terrorism unit formations across the country. And now to politics. The wave of defections hitting the People's Democratic Party, PDP, across the country has once again reshaped the Benue State House of Assembly as the minority leader Abu Umaru officially joined the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC. Umaru, who represents the Apa Katsina State constituency, took over the minority leadership late last year, following a previous realignment sparked by the defection of the former majority leader. Reading the defection letter during Thursday's plenary session, the Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, Alfred Bega, noted that the move further solidified the APC's dominance in the legislative chambers. For the latest development, the Speaker announced that the APC now boasts a commanding majority of 28 members, leaving the PDP with only 4 members in the 32-seat Assembly. Addressing his colleagues on the floor of the House, Umaru, who was immediately named the Deputy Majority Leader following the switch, explained that the decision was not personal but strategic. The People's Democratic Party candidate for the June 2026 governorship election in Katsina State, Wole Oluyede, has ascribed the court judgment directing the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to publish his name as the party's flag bearer as a victory for the people of Ekiti. The PDP in the Southwest Zone also hailed the court verdict, describing it as a triumph for justice, democracy, and the rule of law. It will be recalled that INEC, while publishing what attempt the final list of candidates for the Ekiti governorship election on January 19, omitted the name of the PDP and its candidate. INEC's action followed its earlier rejection of the Tanimu Turaki-led PDP governorship candidate, Oluyede, arising from the division within the party. Oluyede and the PDP challenged INEC's decision in court, and the Federal High Court in Abuja on Friday ordered the electoral body to include his name and the party's logo on the ballot. The court also barred INEC from excluding him from any election-related activity. Reacting to the judgment, Oluyede said the order directing INEC to include and publish his name as the authentic and duly elected candidate of the party is a victory for the people of Ekiti State. The leadership of the Labour Party, led by Julius Abure, has warned that any attempt to dissolve the party's elected ward, the government and state executive, is unlawful, urging the caretaker committee headed by Nadi Usman to respect the position of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The warning was contained in a statement issued on Saturday by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Obiora Ufo. According to the statement, the party leadership was reacting to claims it described as a discredited faction of the party, which allegedly sought to dissolve the existing executives across the country. The party noted that although the leadership dispute is currently before the Court of Appeal, it was necessary to respond to what it described as misinformation. The Labour Party cited a letter from INEC, which he said clearly rejected the request to dissolve the party structures across the state. The party also criticized the process through which the caretaker committee emerged, alleging that it was constituted outside the provisions of the party's constitution. In the meantime, a special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on media and policy communication, Daniel Bwala, has dismissed criticisms that trailed his appearance on Al Jazeera's head-to-head program. He said he had no regrets defending the Tinubu administration before host Mehdi Hassan and will do so again anywhere in the world. The interview, which aired on Thursday on Al Jazeera's head-to-head, sparked an immediate backlash on social media, particularly on X, where clips went viral and critics described Bwala's outing as an embarrassment. Hassan repeatedly confronted Bwala with his own past statements in which he had called President Tinubu a drug baron, corrupt, and unfit to lead remarks Bwala made before his 2023 defection from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. When Bwala denied making some of the statement, Hassan produced video evidence for triggering fresh ridicule online. Hassan also pressed him on Nigeria's deteriorating security situation, citing reports from Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch, with critics saying Bwala appeared unable to counter the figures with data of his own. However, in a statement issued on Saturday, Bwala said the backlash from what he described as opposition sympathizers was predictable and short-lived and would not distract him from his duties as special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on media and policy communication. In other news, the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has urged agencies under the ministry not to allow political activities associated with the 2026 election year to distract them from their responsibilities of securing the country and delivering services to Nigerians. Tunji-Ojo gave the charge in Abuja on Saturday at the end of the 2026 sectoral performance review retreat of the Federal Ministry of Interior, where he commended the performance but warned against complacency. The minister said, despite the political climate, the agencies must remain focused on their mandate, noting that Nigerians still expect effective service delivery. Tunji-Ojo stressed that the Ministry of Interior deals directly with Nigerians on a daily basis, adding that the agencies cannot afford to live in the furor of yesterday's achievement. He said the ministry operates on the principle of collective responsibility and peer review, insisting that its officials must support one another to achieve results. The minister also charged the Nigerian Immigration Service to strengthen border control and intensify efforts to curb irregular migration. But still to come, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria approves final accreditation for Katsina State University, Osogbo, to graduate medical student. We will bring you more of this when we return. Stay with us.